The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
The Jets have a new quarterback coach. Aaron Glenn's staff is starting to come together. We'll talk about that and more when Brandyn Pokrass of JetsXFactor.com joins our show. It's the Jake Asman Show, final show until we head off to New Orleans for Radio Row coverage all week long. Let's hit it and get it started. Man, our Jets are primed to win another offseason, baby.
I wanted this job.
We bleed Jets green each and every day. Will the playoff drought finally end? Kings of the offseason, baby. This is what we do. At least we have Garrett Wilson. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinn Williams. Prepare to be underdogs. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show. Here we go on a Sunday. Thanks to all the Asmaniacs who tuned in to my 4-hour show from noon to 4 Eastern today on Mad Dog Sports Radio. Didn't think I'd be talking that much NBA, but holy bleep. That Anthony Davis and Luka trade, insane. Once again, starting tomorrow, we're live from New Orleans all week long. We will have a bunch of huge guests on the channel. We'll talk plenty of Jets. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel and make sure you turn on notifications for when we're going to be dropping a bunch of interviews and live shows from Radio Row in New Orleans all week long. Joining us right now to talk all things New York Jets is JetsXFactor.com reporter and analyst Brandyn Pokrass. What's up, Brandyn?
How you doing? Good to be back on.
Man, it's good to get you on, and you've been making the rounds. You were at Shrine Bowl, you were at the Senior Bowl, so we'll definitely talk some draft stuff with you as well. But we start with the news of the day. It's been reported that the Jets have themselves a new QB coach. Charles London is the guy getting this job. Your initial reaction to Charles London being named QB coach of the Jets?
So, reading from Tom Pelissero's initial report, looks like another veteran addition to Aaron Glenn's staff. And, you know, a lot of these spots, whether it be quarterback coaches or running back coaches or offensive line coaches, you never truly know until they get in the building to work with the specific guys. But I'm never going to put down, looking for veteran experience and looking to build that diverse staff of, you got a guy like Glenn who, is a first-time head coach, but having Steve Wilkes around, having a veteran quarterback coach around, you're not having to really rely on so many young coaches to try to get this thing moving in the right direction. It's a great balance, and I think that's great for the Jets.
Look, the bottom line is, if you believe in Aaron Glenn, you got to trust him and give him the benefit of the doubt. But I'm also not going to sit here and say, I love this hire. This is awesome. I mean, this is a guy that's been around the league. He's 50 years old. He was with Seattle last year, so you're adding some experience here. But this is not like the sexy hire, right? I mean, you just got to hope that Aaron Glenn is confident in this selection, and he provides some experience to a staff that's going to have a first-time offensive coordinator. That's really what it is. You're just betting on Aaron Glenn's football acumen to hire this.
Well, I mean, the sexy hire isn't always the good hire. That's the thing.
Yep.
Even if you're getting the flashy name sometimes isn't the best guy for the job. And like I said, a lot of this is going to be predicated as we see, what the Jets quarterback room looks like. How does he work with specific guys? Maybe he is able to, help a certain quarterback in the room that may not be in there really develop. Maybe he's able to help Tyrod Taylor really get a grasp of the offense Aaron Glenn and the Jets want to run next year, right? Like, we don't know until everything is solidified. So it's good to give your first impressions, but I think it's important to remember that, you're never going to have the full scope, the full picture until everything's set in stone. We still have free agency. We still have the draft. There's a lot of moving pieces that are still yet to come.
Yeah, I mean, just the resume doesn't exactly stand out as like, wow, can't miss, great hire. I mean, let's go through his recent resume, right? He's a former running back former running backs coach. He only has 4 total years of coaching quarterback experience. He's worked with young quarterbacks, Desmond Ridder and Will Levis, obviously with Geno this past year. So we're not talking about like a track record of working with a great young quarterback that's developed into being a superstar here. So I don't know. I'm not going to go crazy over this. I think the Tanner Angstrand hire is infinitely more important, and I still would expect the Jets to hire a guy like Todd Haley or maybe Anthony Lynn for like a senior offensive assistant head coach. Like I still think a hire like that could be coming, but this is not exactly the sexy name that I think Jet fans were hoping to maybe get for their quarterback coach.
Yeah, but it all speaks to the same point, right? It all speaks to we don't know until the staff is finalized how this fits into place. How does London work with Angstrand and maybe that veteran offensive assistant? Because it looks a lot different in that scenario, right? Where maybe that veteran offensive assistant is really helping London work with the quarterback. We don't know until that entire staff is solidified. And I'm very interested to see how it's built out.
As far as the rest of the coaching staff, Brandon, this is the first time I obviously have had you on since Glenn has been hired. Your thoughts on some of the other names on the staff? Are you on board with the OC choice, with the DC choice, special teams coordinator, some of the other names that have been reported that Aaron Glenn has hired?
Kind of like I said at the top, I really like the mix of young coaches and veteran presence that Glenn has been able to bring to the table, right? Because Angstrand, the young offensive coach, should be able to bring a fun offense to the table. But on the flip side, you got a guy like Steve Wilkes, who not only can be a good defensive coordinator as he's shown in years past, but he has head coach experience. He's a guy that in a tough scenario, Glenn may be able to lean on and really, utilize in that scenario. Chris Banjo, I really like as a special teams coordinator. Like I really enjoy the mix of what they've been able to bring to the table so far. But going forward, we just have to see how the rest of the staff pans out. I like what they're going for. I like the mix of different coaches they have, but I really want to see what the finished product looks like.
Yeah, totally fair. Look, I don't love this particular hire, but I'm also not going to go nuts over a quarterback hire. I think ultimately you got to pick the right quarterback when that time comes. And more importantly, I think the offensive coordinator is infinitely more important. That's what I believe. Like who the pass game coordinator is, who the offensive coordinator is, who the senior level offensive assistant is, assuming Glenn is still going to hire someone to that role, which I believe he will. That to me is more important than the quarterback coach.
Yeah, and every staff has guys fit different responsibilities. Like the quarterback coach for the Jets may do more or may do less than, let's say, the quarterback coach on the Panthers, the quarterback coach on the Falcons. Like we don't know the day-to-day responsibilities that every coach would have, especially if they are bringing in that offensive assistant. Because, okay, what responsibilities is he taking from offensive coordinator? If you bring in a passing game coordinator, okay, what is he taking from the quarterback coach? What is he taking from the offensive coordinator? It all goes to the same point of we don't know how it's all going to fit together until all the coaches are in place.
So Charles London is the quarterback coach, and to quote Jets West on Twitter, we're all excited for the London Bridge QB this year before we draft our guy in 2026. Dun-dun-dun.
Yeah, not bad.
For those tuning in, we're doing a raffle this week in honor of the Super Bowl. Our biggest prize yet, most expensive prize we've ever raffled. Joe Namath signed helmet with display case and certificate of authenticity. Gift a channel membership. Memberships are working again to be entered in the raffle. If you gift one, you get one raffle entry. You gift five, you get five. It's a great way to support the channel. Gift your fellow listener a membership and have a chance to win epic prizes like that helmet, the Klecko signed Hall of Fame helmet, the Gastineau signed helmet, the Aaron Glenn signed photo, and just announced during yesterday's show, an AG jersey. If you want an Aaron Glenn jersey, I will buy one for you and send it your way. You have to be entered in the raffle, though, to have a chance to win. So take a look at all that. And then finally, I don't know if you're aware of this, Brandon, but we have a sixth prize that we upped the ante for. Charles Gorman, game-worn tighty whities. So that's prize number 6. And I'll tell you what, Brandon, since you've always come on the show anytime I've asked, I will even send you a pair for you to enjoy yourself. You don't even have to worry about trying to win.
Oh, yeah?
Ladies and gentlemen, David Atkins is the first person in the show to gift a channel membership. He's in our raffle for another entry. Thank you very much, David. Cha-ching. David also with a super chat. Thanks for the t-shirt. I also purchased the Asmaniac white cap. Go Jets. David, my pleasure, man. Thank you for your support. Bang Mateo wrote in, prediction, Jake likes to hire, watch what I tell you, circling the wagons. 3, 2, and 1. Well, Bang, you were dead wrong, baby. You were so wrong. So, ladies and gentlemen, because Bang was wrong, we send him to Stupid Town. Bye.
Excuse me, miss. I need to return this damn child. He's no good. Sometimes a child just is no good. Take his one back.
Farewell, you bum. Adirondack Fly Guy in the raffle by gifting 1 channel membership. Thank you, Adirondack. That membership went to Jets Mess. So congrats to our brand new channel member. If you guys have a question for Brandon, write it in. I want to get into where you've been the last couple weeks because you've been busy. You were at the Shrine Bowl out. That's in Dallas, right? You were down at Jerry World, and you just got back from Mobile, where you're at the Senior Bowl. So let's start with the Shrine Bowl. Give us some quick takeaways from your week out there, and of course, if you want to localize it to the team you cover up close, the Jets, more the merrier with those takes.
Yeah, so I had a great chance to cover both events with the college football site I work for, the league winners. Really, really fun event, both the Shrine Bowl and the Senior Bowl. I will say about the Shrine Bowl, right? It was a just as good of an event, in my opinion, as the Senior Bowl. Like, I thought the talent was really good. I thought that there were plenty of standouts. But I will say what stood out to me was the defensive line group, at least at the Shrine, right? So, you had a guy like Elijah Roberts, edge rusher, SMU, felt like no matter who he was going up against, he was winning. And then another guy that stood out for me was Tyler Batty, the BYU pass rusher. Thought he had a really, really good performance during the week as well. Another guy that really stood out to me on the defensive side of things was Robert Longerbeam, the Rutgers cornerback. He was I think his best day was on day 2, in my opinion. Good day 1, but day 2, feel like the way he was breaking on the ball, the way he was mirroring coverages, even in one-on-ones, a drill that's really designed to help out wide receivers and really give wide receivers the advantage. He was shutting down guys a lot. Then moving towards team drills, a guy like RJ Mickens, who, if you're a Jet fan, you should be familiar with that name. He was really good flying downhill, looked really good in the run game, just really moving quick out there and being very decisive as a player. And then on the offensive side of things, I mean, there's plenty of guys to shout out. Wasn't perfect down there, but Cam Miller from North Dakota State, Aronde Gadsden from Syracuse, probably one of my favorite just pure receivers I was able to watch. Ricky Miller, Keandre Lambert-Smith. There's so many guys that you could run through just from the skill position groups, and then even if you went into offensive line. But it was a really fun event. Really got a chance to talk to a lot of different players, and there should be some guys that, to take it from the more broad perspective to the Jet side of things, and we'll get into Senior with this. There's a lot of guys that the Jets fans and the Jets themselves should keep an eye on. And I'd say, especially at a position of need, like in the trenches, there's going to be plenty of guys in the trenches. Whether you want to add another edge, whether you want to add another interior defensive lineman, there are going to be plenty of guys. Now, what draft range you want to select that, whether it's first round, second round, fourth round, that depends. But there's going to be guys. Like, for example, the 2 guys I mentioned in Roberts and Batty, Tonka Hemingway from South Carolina, one of my favorite players I watched throughout the week, was just winning, whether it was against the run or in passing downs, just very quick off the ball, great with his hands. And it was just very, very good to see kind of these position groups. You don't want to make your full eval from this type of event, but it's good to get a good grasp of, okay, what do they look like in these situations?
As far as the Senior Bowl, what did you learn being down in Mobile all week?
All right. So I know that a specific quarterback has been getting a lot of buzz. I know that a specific quarterback being Jackson Dart, a lot of people talk about him, maybe the Jets should target him. Maybe the Jets should look at him. I'm not seeing the hype. I'm truly not. I know he made some good throws during the course of a week. I know he had a few good plays. I just didn't see the consistency there. I didn't see the consistency in him hitting his throws. I didn't see the consistency in him getting through his reads. There were a few throws where he almost would have got his wide receivers killed. There were plays where he would have been sacked immediately for either not seeing a receiver open or holding on to the ball too much. And the same could have been said for a lot of the guys down there, whether it be Jalen Milroe, whether it be Riley Leonard. You know, the guys on the national team had some ups and downs, but you kind of knew their limitations already. Taylor Elgersma, the Canadian quarterback, had some good throws, also was very inaccurate and inconsistent on a lot of the days. Dylan Gabriel, probably the most accurate quarterback there. You have questions about his size and his arm strength. Tyler Show, up and down. Seth Hennigan, up and down. Riley Leonard, up and down. It's just a year, and I know Jet fans were like, you know, we should try to draft the quarterback. It's not going to be in the early rounds if they do it, and it shouldn't be in the early rounds if they do it. This is a year where you're drafting a mid-round guy, seeing if you can try to develop him into something, and moving on to the next. This isn't the year you want to take your quarterback high. I'm putting my flag in the sand with that take. This is not the year you want to take your quarterback high. I don't care if it's, you know, Shedeur, Cam Ward, Jackson Dart. I know those are the three guys getting a lot of buzz. If you want to take your quarterback, make it a middle round selection. And I would even go a step further and say, I liked what Kyle McCord and Cam Miller and the Max Brosmer from Minnesota showed better than the guys at the Senior Bowl. I will say that.
We're talking with Brandyn Pokrass. The New York Jets have hired a new quarterback coach. And guess what? We have more breaking news involving Aaron Glenn's coaching staff.
Breaking sports news on the Jake Asman Show.
The New York Jets have hired Scott Turner as their pass game coordinator. Now, that is a notable hire. This is a guy who has called plays for multiple teams, including last season as the Raiders' interim offensive coordinator. So this is a guy that is going to be paramount in helping Tanner Engstrand as a first-time OC. We all wanted experience with some of the quote-unquote inexperienced hires that Glenn has made. Scott Turner joins this coaching staff as someone with a wealth of experience that could potentially help Tanner Engstrand ease into the job. So Scott Turner was a name that was mentioned to actually be the Jets' offensive coordinator, and that job, of course, ends up going to Engstrand. But Turner's coming on anyway now as the pass game coordinator. Brandyn, your thoughts?
I like the hire. You know, I really like the North Turner tree. Obviously, Scott Turner has some pretty close ties to that, but I really like the concepts of that offense and how it even applies still to the modern day offense. And what that means for the Jets is I think they're going to be running a more unique scheme. I think they're going to be more sound in a lot of their details. And I know that was a huge problem for the Jets this past year. Details. I think with Glenn as the head coach, I think with Engstrand and now Scott Turner on board, I think you're going to get a much more detailed offense, a much more detailed unit, whether it's in the run game, whether it's in the receiving game, your route concepts. I think it's just going to be that much more crisp.
Scott Turner's resume is extensive. He started off in 2005 as a grad assistant at Oregon State. He was the offensive coordinator at South County High School from 06 through 07. Then he joined Pittsburgh as an offensive assistant. This is the University of Pittsburgh. Then he was the wide receivers coach there. Then he joined the Carolina Panthers as an offensive quality control coach from 11 to 12. He was the Browns wide receivers coach in 2013. He was the quarterbacks coach of the Vikings in 14 and 16. Harbaugh hired him at Michigan as an offensive analyst in 2017. He was the Carolina Panthers QB coach in 18 and 19. He was with the Washington Commanders from 2020 to 2022 as an offensive coordinator. He was the Raiders pass game coordinator until he got promoted to interim offensive coordinator this past season. So there's an experienced hire. Look, I'm not going to sit here and tell you Scott Turner is going to be the difference in the Jets having a great offense at some point here, but if you're going to hire a first-time OC, you want someone in that room who's been an OC before that could help them, and Scott Turner certainly fits the bill for that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that, like I said at the beginning of the show, you want to have the mix of experience and young coaches.
With upside. A lot of upside.
Right. What's the great way to have Engstrand learn and become the best OC can become? Get a guy like Scott Turner in the room. I really like the hire.
Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. There's 450 of you in here. We have opportunities to be entered in our raffle. Vinny has gifted a channel membership. Vinny, baby, you're in for one.
I'm going to lose my gosh darn bananas.
Vinny's gifted membership went to the following Asmaniac. It went to listener. I have no idea. It's not showing me. I don't know. All that for nothing. Vinny, but I will get you down in the raffle. Damn you, YouTube. David Atkins writes in, Kyle McCord, quarterback, Syracuse. Any thoughts on McCord as a day 2, day 3 option? I mean, I'm starting to hear his name more and more by people who like him.
I liked how he finished his week. So he had some great plays day 1, day 2, but the consistency wasn't there, right? You know, it's like with quarterbacks, you want to see them build on their performances. And it's tough the first few days because you have to build the rapport with the receivers, with a lot of guys you've never worked with. McCord really showed out, in my opinion, on day 3 and day 4. He was hitting throws all over the field, specifically on day 3. I was kind of floored by how he was throwing the ball, layering the ball in between traffic, making throws on the run, putting the ball in the back corner of the end zone for his wide out. Like, there were just really, really good throws from him as the week progressed. And I think that what you want in a quarterback can vary. But I think you want, at least in the scope of the Jets, right? I think you want a guy that can at least operate the offense, a guy that, you know, if you put him on the field as a day 2 or day 3 pick, he's not going to completely sink you. I think that's what McCord is. I'm not going to come out here and say, you know, Kyle McCord, first round prospect, question mark. No, like I'm not going that far on the ledge because McCord does have his inconsistencies. He has inconsistencies in deep ball accuracy and, you know, arm strength, and whether he can consistently push the ball down the field. But I think as a solid backup to spot starter off the bat, I don't think you can find much better in day 2, late day 2, early day 3 than McCord.
We're presented today by Huga House. See the hat I'm wearing? It's part of the new performance line from Huga House. These are brand new. There's a bunch of awesome options for you. HugaHouse.com. Promo code Asman if you want 15%. If you want 20%, then go into the description box and click the link, and it's going to take you to a 20% off option right at checkout that will automatically be there when you check out for your order. Once again, get a new hat from Huga House. They're my go-to hat. They should be yours too. HUEGAhouse.com and get the hat that I'm always wearing. Rogers is wearing. All these big-time athletes and entertainers and me, which I'm neither. So check it out. HugaHouse.com. Promo code Asman for 15% or 20%. Use the link in my description. Comments or questions for Brandon. If you have a super chat, you'll cut the line. We have a new quarterback coach. We now reportedly have a new passing game coordinator, so I will have to update the thumbnail and title for this video after the fact. But that said, Jet staff is clearly starting to come together. Are there any other notable additions you'd like to see to this staff? Do you want some more first-timers? Are you looking for more experience here? Your thoughts on where Aaron Glenn potentially goes from here, Brandon?
I'd personally like to see like another veteran offensive guy on that side of the ball. You know, I don't think you never have too much experience on the offensive side of the ball, especially with a first-time offensive coordinator. I'd like to see maybe another guy with a bit more experience working with quarterbacks, maybe another guy that is just more of your overall offensive side of the ball guru, where it's like he kind of dabbles a little bit in everything. But I'm kind of just interested to see where it goes from here. Like, I'm really fascinated to follow, okay, what does Aaron Glenn value? And I think that's the biggest thing. What does he value in his coaches? What does he value in terms of experience, in terms of youth, in terms of blending the two together? Because that's going to give us our best insight into what they want to do this offseason, what they want to do in free agency, what they want to do in the draft.
Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. We're talking with Brandyn Pokrass here of JetsXFactor.com. Your thoughts on Aaron Rodgers, your thoughts on how these hires impact his future with the Jets one way or another.
The Aaron Rodgers question, my favorite one. I don't necessarily think It should, and I don't necessarily think it does. I think this is a decision that is going to be made more so in a vacuum, but not necessarily in a vacuum. What I mean is, like, I feel like the decision should be made in the context of, okay, how does Aaron Rodgers fit on the Jets? I don't think it should. I mean, it may be impacted by what Glenn thinks and what Moogie thinks, but I think that ultimately it has to come down to how does keeping Aaron Rodgers affect the Jets organization versus how does Aaron Rodgers leaving affect the Jets organization? Because once you start putting feelings and personal feelings into the equation, it kind of, you could be more prone to making the wrong decision. And I personally lean toward I wouldn't want him back this year, and I understand everything that comes with that, right? I understand okay, who's your quarterback? How are you going about that? What are you doing at the position? What are you doing when Devontae leaves now? I get that. I just keep falling in the camp of, okay, what do you do if it doesn't work out again? What do you do when all that money is on the books and let's say it doesn't work out again? Because, and this is the big part to think about.
What if he takes a pay cut, though? Does that impact your thinking?
A little bit, but not too much. Because the money's a big part of it, but it's also like, okay, if we do this year one and it completely blows up again, now we're setting ourselves, like the new regime is now setting themselves a year back. So now you're leaving room for them. Oh, now we have to scramble. Now we're going to be under the gun. You know, we were so far behind in year one that we have to try to make up all this ground. And then you risk alienating more young players, in my opinion, right? If you have another season where you pitch it as, oh, Rodgers going to help bring this team back to relevance, right? You know, this is the year it's going to work. Then if it doesn't work again, okay, how does that affect your core? How does that affect guys that want to be here? Unfortunately, it's not black and white, right? This isn't a black and white discussion of, hey, you keep Rodgers, it's this. You tell Rodgers to leave or he retires, it's this. There are so many moving parts, whether it's financially, other players on the team, how you build the offense, how you build the rest of the roster. There's so many things that go into it that I don't think it's just this, hey, you keep him, it's one thing. You get rid of him, it's one thing. I lean toward wanting to get rid of him, but it's more so because of financials. And I personally want to see this new regime start completely clean slate. Because I'll frame it like this. If you have a bad season in year one, where you're kind of pitching it as we're retooling to really compete in year two and get our quarterback in year two and make this roster even better in year two, I think that sits a lot better than we keep Rodgers. Oh no, this blew up where he got hurt again and missed 5 games. And now we have to scramble because we didn't actually have a plan in place. And now we have to build said plan. So that's just how I view it. And I'm sure there's plenty of other ways to go about it. There's plenty of other ways to view it. I just don't think the cost of admission is worth it with Rodgers.
I'd bring him back. I think he's their best option by far. Especially on a pay cut and you get Devontae back. I mean, I still would draft a quarterback if there's someone they like. End of round 1, day 2 for sure. But I think Aaron Glenn needs to win games to try and establish a culture. I don't think you could do that if you go, 5-12 next year, 4-13, which feels likely if you tell me the plan's Tyrod Taylor and who's the backup.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. I think Tyrod could do just as good as Rodgers.
You can't say healthy. That's why if you guaranteed me 17 games of Rodgers, I'd say fine. I get it.
No, I personally think Tyrod could do exactly what Rodgers can do next year. Now, who's your backup quarterback in that situation is a very, very important discussion.
See that then keep Rodgers, have Tyrod be the backup, which was supposed to be his role. And if Rodgers gets as banged up as he was this year, have the balls to actually say you're hurting the team by playing. We're playing Tyrod for 2 weeks so you can get healthy.
And that, like I said, I'm still in I don't want Rodgers camp, but this also goes to the point of, would he listen to Aaron Glenn? Would he not want to run his own offense and audible out of place and actually run the offense and the scheme they're trying to implement and not have it be the Rodgers offense? And there's just like I said, there's a lot of moving parts when it comes to this. It is not a straightforward answer because in order for you to get the answer of Rodgers stays or Rodgers goes, there's so many different things have to be answered. And that's not even putting into the equation that he might just not come back himself.
Right. If he retires, I mean, what are you going to do?
It's a moot point.
It's fine. Like, it's his right if he doesn't want to play football anymore. But I think he still wants to play. He didn't sound like a retired guy to me when I heard him last speak on the McAfee show a few weeks ago.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to track. And I think that the Jets offseason will take – it's basically the fork in the road because you go left, it's one thing. You go right, it's another.
I also would assume they could run the ball a lot better with a real offensive line coach and run game coordinator than they did this year. And you're not asking Rodgers to do as much, which I think was a huge problem.
Like I said, a lot of moving parts, a lot of different things that go into this discussion and equation, but it's going to be very fascinating to find out.
What are the other options besides Rodgers? Say he retires or they move on. What are the other options?
I really think your best bet is Tyrod and then draft someone.
Enjoy a 4-win season. Can't wait.
I don't know. I don't think it would be necessarily 4-win because if you get it's all about getting the right guy.
Congratulations. 5 wins. Here we come.
I don't know. I don't think so, but we shall see.
Hit the like button if you're tuning in. 10 memberships and we say goodbye to Brown. I'm just kidding. We'll take some calls with our guy BPOC as well. Another reminder, starting tomorrow, we're live from New Orleans all week long at Radio Row. We have a current member of the Jets scheduled to join us, and I'm working on some other big guests as well. Let's see what you guys are thinking. First up on the Gusbuster hotline is Kyle Clifton. Hello, Kyle.
What's up, guys? How are you?
Doing well.
So I'm watching the Pro Bowl games, and our boy Deion Dawkins just got pulled into the foam pit. So that was heartwarming.
Happy for him.
So the two positions that are definitely left open are tight end and running back coach, respectively. Do you have any thoughts on that, Brandon, or any ones that might be available? Anyone that you guys might have heard?
I don't really have any thoughts on specific candidates for that role. I think it more so comes down to kind of everything we said. It's like having that balance of experience and, young coaches. And I personally think for the running back room, I'd like to see an experienced person there because I'd like
another former player or
potentially like someone that can really not only be able to work directly with Brees, but also develop Braylon and develop Isaiah Davis. I think that is a sneaky important coach on the staff because if you get the right guy in there, the right guy that can teach them the right things and instill that right mentality, I think you could have one of the better running back rooms in the NFL.
The more I think about it and all the things that have to sync up, I think that Rodgers is a goner. I think that we're going to probably start from the ground up. I don't know if that's necessarily the right thing, but how cheap would Rodgers have to come for us to say we can't pass on making this guy our quarterback?
I don't know if it's all money. I know money is going to be a big factor, but we don't know what Glenn and the rest of the building are thinking, right? But I think there is some value that they could see in just going clean slate to start it off. Now, is that the right decision? Who knows, right? We're not going to know until the games are actually played on the field in September of this year. But I think there is definitely a discussion that needs to be had of outside of the financials, outside of everything. Do we want to start year one of this regime with Rodgers? And I think that has to be one of the first conversations.
And we'll find out probably in the next 2 or 3 weeks, we think, or
I would think so. I mean, should be before the combine.
All right. Jake, my trip to the movies was postponed yesterday and actually went off today. If you guys get a chance, go see Dogman. It's a tour de force.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the recommendation from Kyle Clifton. How about that? I'm trying to think the last time I saw a movie in the theaters. It's been a while.
I think I saw one. Did I see one relatively recently? I'm not sure. I watched a few on the plane. So
I got an early flight tomorrow And if I can't sleep, maybe I'll put on some sort of film. I don't know. Tyrone with a super chat. I read that the Jets are looking at Scott Peterson as offensive assistant for cap money. Old Jet fans don't care. We don't want another lost year, please. Scott Peterson. Should I know that name, Brandon? I'm not familiar with it.
Is that I don't know. Like, is that I don't know if that's a name I'm supposed to have like a reaction to.
I'm not aware of who this guy is, Tyrone, but if you can help Darren Muji with the cap, great. Love it. Anthony with an Asmaniac super chat. Left everything Jets week 7-ish. Was devastated. Jumping back in, Jake. Just can't quit them. Excited to start watching you again, as you were the best for sure. Welcome back, Anthony. This is what I mean. The real diehards stuck around. Anthony's just coming back. He's got Aaron Glenn fever. He's glenned up, and he has returned.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Well, if you want in on the raffle, Anthony, I don't know if you caught the announcement earlier, but we have our biggest one ever this upcoming week from New Orleans in honor of the Super Bowl. We got to get a Joe Willie Namath signed helmet, the MVP of Super Bowl III, Hall of Fame Klecko helmet, Mark Gastineau helmet, Glenn photo that is autographed, and now an Aaron Glenn jersey, plus game worn Charles Gorman underwear. Also on the line in Asmaniac raffle number 15. Can't wait, baby. John FL has gifted a membership. Thank you, John. You're in the raffle for another. All right, more of your calls right now. Are you prepared for madness, Brandon? Are you ready for it?
I guess we'll find out.
Have you been following the Beastbreaker saga on this program?
I've not. You want to fill me in?
Oh, here we go. Beast?
Yeah, I can hear you. You're just not in a good mood. There's a fake personalized page I'm very getting annoyed of. I'm not gonna stop until I get what I want.
Beast, what's wrong?
There's a mama beast breaker on there, and I'm starting to. I'm now getting really annoyed and get very irritated.
Is your mom watching the show?
No, I also pulled my this morning. I'm in a lot of goddamn pain, and
I can't hear you, Beast.
I don't like being
Beast. Your internet's choppy because you're screaming and yelling. It reacts to your movements.
I'm just saying, I'm in a lot of pain right now. I pulled my groin this morning. I don't know how it happened. And right now, I'm not in a lot of pain right now. I don't need all this. I don't need being hassled and.
Breaker 666. He's the man who would kick your ass, and then he's gobble-goo.
We couldn't hear you, Beast. Your internet connection is worse than the Jets' 2024 season. Tough. That's Beastbreaker, though, Brandon. He's a very polarizing figure around these parts.
Gotcha.
Rat Diddy with a $10 super chat. Excited to see some great Jake Super Bowl week interviews. Well, get ready, Rat Diddy. He's going to blow your mind who we got coming on this week. Going to be wild. Everyone, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Mama Beastbreaker writes in, please rest up, sweetie. I don't think you're Beast, Mama. Mama Beastbreaker. I'm not buying it. All right, you're gone. I'm getting rid of your ass. We'll see you later. We're sending you to the hole. Now look what you've done. Beastbreaker 666. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to cut your call off and cast you down with the sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. Do you understand me? You catch my drift?
Are you seriously on crack? I think
give them another 24 hours to think about it.
How about you bending over and taking up the booty hole behind the 7-Eleven?
Had to be done, you know? We had a fake Beastbreaker mom account. Couldn't handle it. Let's get to some more of your calls here. Let's say hello to June, the GM. Hello, June.
Hey, listen. You can hear me, Jake?
Yes, sir.
Okay, listen, man. I was coming back from the outlets doing a little shopping with the wife, and then I hear Brandon on here. I love the knowledge of the Senior Bowl and all that good stuff, but then you're going crazy, disrespecting The legend himself, Aaron, go get it, Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers has thrown for over 4,000 yards 10 times. 10 times. Tyrod Taylor has thrown for 3,000 yards twice. Listen, Tyrod Taylor is where he's supposed to be, holding the clipboard. Okay, you know he's injury prone. If we go into the season with Tyrod Taylor, we're going to win 4 games. Bring back Aaron Rodgers so we have a shot at the wild card. Come on, Brandon. You're acting up. You're acting up.
I don't know. You know, the way I look at it is Rodgers only getting older. He was banged up this year. I'm not convinced he's going to be able to stay healthy for a full season. I don't think it's worth the financial investment. And I think that the Jets are better off cleaning house and just starting anew.
Here's the danger with that. I get what you're saying because, you know, the bad juju, the vibes and all that they say, I get it. Here's the danger with that. If Aaron Glenn comes out the first year and throws a 4-win season up there, us Jet fans, including me, are going to be very, very upset. Then basically just saying that in 2026, we're banking on getting the quarterback draft correct and then going from there. Why? Why? When you got teams like the Commanders, you got teams like the Rams who should have not even been in the mix this year, making pushes and runs. We got to bring Aaron back. Come on. There's no way. 3,800 yards, 28 touchdowns, coming back from an Achilles. And you know, it really takes 2 years to come back from a major injury. You got to bring Aaron Rodgers back. There's no way. But let me ask you a question, though, because I do like your mind. You have a great mind. I want to ask you in the Senior Bowl, let's give me a dark horse cornerback that you saw that you really liked, and a dark horse quarterback. Not to say that he's draft worthy in the top 3 rounds, but if you're going to throw your eggs in that basket, say, I'll go with this guy with the hopes of developing him.
All right, I'll answer all 3 parts. So I understand what you're saying about Rodgers, right? Like the yardage and all that aspect of it. But I think that, once again, I'll stick by the point of he was injured already. He was banged up throughout this season. You don't know how another year older Rodgers is going to be. Also don't know, you know, maybe this year his arm takes a step back. Look at what happened with Peyton Manning. Just randomly fell off a cliff as he got older, right? We don't know how the progression of an older quarterback goes. You can just see something fall off immediately the next year. And the other part of that is you have to draft a quarterback anyway. You have to get a young guy in this room. You do not have a guy in the room. I know a lot of people want to say, give Jordan Travis a shot. He's not the future. You have to get a young quarterback in the room. So no matter what you do this season, you have to get that guy next year. You have to get that guy next year. So I'm standing by my take. I'm standing by my take of I would move forward because I think in the long run, and this is what I'm saying, in the long run, it would be more worth it. Yes, I understand that if Aaron Glenn starts off on the bad foot, Jet fans might be upset. All that matters is how the organization is viewing it. If the organization believes wholeheartedly in Aaron Glenn's process, then that's all that matters. That's all that matters. The Lions under Dan Campbell did not start off as this juggernaut. They were built into that. And whether it's with Rodgers, without Rodgers, you have to trust Glenn to build that process. I just have a preference. And you know what? If Rodgers is the quarterback, then I'm going to be hoping the best for the Jets as well. Will I agree with the decision? No. But if Aaron Glenn and this new Jets regime goes in that direction, then that's what they're okay with. That's their decision. Now, the Senior Bowl stuff. I will say, at the cornerback position, there were 2 major standouts for me, maybe even 3. So, Upton Stout, Western Kentucky University, arguably the best overall cornerback in the Senior Bowl event, was shut down no matter who he faced, was a lockdown in team drills, one-on-one drills, and most importantly, was great in the run game, had some great run fits during practice. Really cool guy, dude. Really cool guy as well. Met him at the airport yesterday again. Also, on top of that, 2 other guys. Quincy Riley, Louisville, Azariah Thomas from Florida State. Hopefully got that first name right. I'm not sure. We'll work on that. Both really, really good man-to-man guys on the outside. Extremely athletic, can shut down guys deep down the field. Thomas, specifically, is 20 years old. Would be a really fun guy for the Jets to draft if they want to draft a cornerback earlier. because now I think he raised his draft stock to the point where he may be a bit higher. But I think the Jets could get Quincy Riley at a bit of a steal, maybe even Upton Stout at a bit of a steal. On the offensive side of the ball, I will say, although his performance wasn't great in the totality, I did like some of the traits that the Canadian quarterback Taylor Elgersma showed. Had the best pure arm, in my opinion, at the Senior Bowl.
Wow.
Some of the best throws at the Senior Bowl, but the consistency really wasn't there. In terms of like a round 5 guy, I'm more than okay taking a shot on him as a developmental option. That's the guy for me that if I want to just stash someone, develop him for a year or two and basically not see him play until he's ready to really process NFL defenses and process different things, I'm okay with that. So that's the guy I would personally look at, where I know people want to take that route with Jordan Travis. I would take that route with Elgersma.
It's interesting because June, the GM, called in either yesterday or the day before and brought up the same guy. So you guys disagree on Rodgers, but you're aligned there with the thought process on the Canadian QB. So love that. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Super chats of $20 or more gets you raffle entries. Another reminder to those out there who are watching on the phone and can't gift from the phone. If you send in a $20 super chat, you get 5 raffle entries. For the Namath helmet, you send in a $50 super chat, you get 10 raffle entries. You send in a $100 super chat, you get a 20 entry of raffle tickets. 20 raffle tickets for $100 super chat. More of your calls right now. Let's say hello to David Atkins, who's rocking the Asmaniac cap. What's up, David?
Hey, Jake. I got my hat. Thanks for the T-shirt. Just a few questions for Brandon and you guys. I'm along with you, Jake, trying to keep Rodgers. Years ago, Al Davis made a comment. I'm not a Raiders fan, but I've been a Jet fan for, good Lord, 56 years. And he told Jim Plunkett this. He said, it's not important that you play well. It's important you win. Now, he didn't mean it. He didn't want Plunkett to play well. He said that we have to play well as a team. I think keeping Rodgers, having a bridge quarterback like McCord or whoever, but if we can run the ball, we can get better at offensive line, we can block. If we can do the little things, take that pressure off Rodgers. And if he stays, and I know there's a lot of scenarios, but just that accountability and that coaching. Sorry about my dog there. I believe that's the way we need to go, Jake. Like you said, we've got to be able to run the football and do the little things. If we can do that, we can win. And that's what.
David, give us a woof real quick. Give us a bark.
I'm sorry. Give us a bark.
Well, yeah.
That's a
There we
Southern
go.
boy. Oh, woo-hoo.
Ladies and gentlemen, David Atkins checking in. What do you think of his dog barking and then his own personal bark there, Brandon?
I will say, love dogs. No issues with that. I will say about the take about Rodgers and the run game. I think that can be fixed independently of who's the quarterback, right? I think obviously that it plays a part, but I think a good run scheme and a good run attack is independently designed outside of the quarterback. Now, the quarterback play influence how effective said run game is, but in terms of designs and how the blocks are taught and things along those lines, that's independent of the quarterback play.
Hit the like button if you're tuning in. There's 177 likes, but there's 500 plus people watching right now. So the math is not mathing. And I hate math, but some of you need to hit the like button. It's as simple as that. JD Surf City says Brandon's one of the better guests to analyze the issues and provided his opinion, regardless if Jet fans want AR or not. Yeah, look, I'm on the side of bring Aaron back, but I'm not going to sit here and act like there's not an argument to just move on. I just think going with Tyrod Taylor, if you guaranteed me his health, sure, but I don't see him making it a full season, and then what's the plan behind him? And I also look at the receiver room too, Brandon. If you bring Aaron back, I think Devontae's here. If you don't bring Aaron back, I don't see Devontae here. And you're starting basically from scratch at wide receiver besides Garrett. You're going to need to do a lot to that room as well.
It's another factor, but, I'm more than okay taking a guy like Tyrone McMillan from Arizona with the top pick, pair him with Garrett Wilson. There you have a really solid 1-2, maybe even give Malachi Corley another shot. If he pans out as your slot guy, got a pretty good room right there. And obviously look to free agency to try to shore up that room as well. So like there's plenty of options no matter what way you go. It's just, you just have to know what way they're going to really start analyzing it, because this Rodgers question does change things one way or the other.
Yeah, I mean, they got a ton of decisions to make. There's no doubt about it. Jeffrey R. suggests Hendon Hooker is coming. I would hate that. I think he stinks.
I don't think we've seen enough of him. You know, I don't think we've seen enough of him on the field.
They replaced him with Teddy Bridgewater, who was coaching high school football all year. And when they needed to go to someone in the playoffs, when Goff got banged up on that pick 6, they went to Teddy Two Gloves over Hendon Hooker, who's been with them for the last 2 years in the system. I thought that was crazy.
Yeah, he could not be able to play at quarterback at a high NFL level or even a backup level, but I don't think and that's a lot of behind the scenes stuff. Maybe that's the Lions specific scheme, but that would also mean that the Jets probably aren't the team that's going to look into adding him. So I don't know. He'd be a guy that, okay, you take a shot on him. It doesn't work. So be it. It's not like you're trading a premium asset for Hendon Hooker.
Brandon says, Jake, that's a brutally moronic take. Okay, Brandon, you call in, tough guy, and you tell me why it's moronic to think that Hendon Hooker probably stinks if they went to Teddy Bridgewater over him and Teddy Bridgewater joined the team 2 weeks to go in like the regular season, or it might have been even less than that. I like, point is, he immediately leapfrogged a guy who had been there the last 2 years in the Ben Johnson system almost simultaneously. You tell me, though, why that's a moronic take to think that the guy's probably not that good when he wasn't that good in college anyway. Keep telling me it's a moronic take, though, Brandon. I appreciate it. Great take. I have no idea what Peter Castro is super chatting here. Dad soul and dumb. Peter, can you clarify? I appreciate the gesture. Love a $50 super chat. We'll get you down on the raffle for 10, but I have no idea what he's talking about. Brandon, any thoughts? You're smart.
I got nothing.
No. All right. Well, on that note, Brandon, I appreciate you hopping on, man. Thanks for joining us and giving us your insight. And are you going to go to the Combine too? You should be there after you were at Shrine Bowl and you were at the Senior Bowl.
That's the goal. That is the goal for me. I am looking to get out to the Combine, but thank you so much for having me on again. Appreciate it.
Brandyn Pokrass of Jets X Factor joining us, talking all things Jets and Brandon's week at the Shrine Bowl in Dallas and Senior Bowl in Mobile. Here's a look at the Jets coaching staff, where things stand, courtesy of Zach Rosenblatt's Twitter. OC, Tanner Engstrand. DC, Steve Wilkes. Special teams, Chris Banjo. Pass game coordinator, just announced during the show. Reportedly, it's going to be Scott Turner. Quarterback coach, talked about it at the top, Charles London. They need a running backs coach. They're retaining Sean Jefferson as the receivers coach. Tight ends coach is TBD. O-line coach is Steve Hayden. DB/pass game coordinator is Chris Harris. Defensive line coach is Eric Washington. Linebackers is Aaron Curry. So that's where we stand right now with this coaching staff. More hires still to come. There'll be assistant hires, all that. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Sunday. It is time to check in with one of the all-time great Asmaniacs.
Hi, how are you? Bruce Hall. That's good. Hello, Jake.
Hello, Lane.
Hi.
How are you,
I
Lane?
heard you were good. I heard you were talking to somebody.
I was talking to Brandon.
Yeah, I know. I guess he left the show already.
He did. He came on, gave some good insight, and now we're going to
I
you,
know, I
Lane.
saw you talking about the draft thing. So how was the bowling yesterday? I'm sorry I couldn't make it.
I couldn't make it either. I wasn't there. I heard it was a great time, though.
I heard that it was Hawks' last day.
Yeah, Hawks going to Australia. He's leaving the U.S.
He's on his airplane.
Yep.
I bet he's probably
He's flying away. He's going like this with like a hawk. Caw-caw.
Caw-caw. Can I do it? Caw-caw.
yeah.
Caw-caw.
Yeah,
Caw-caw.
you got to stand up and do it, Lane. Give us a
I'll do
full-on
it.
hawk.
Caw-caw. Caw-caw. I need a beak. Caw-caw. It's funny. So anyway. Oh, uh-oh. I think I pulled a B Mac on the lights. Hello?
Lane, how loud is your TV?
Oh yeah, I'll make it lower. I'll make my room look like B Mac now. Oh, it's like B Mac. It's okay now.
What's new
So
in your life, Lane? Did you have a good weekend?
yeah. What did I do? Saturday, not that much. I you know what? I actually went outside to synagogue, so that was good.
Okay.
Celebrated Shabbos. Then I went to the store after to get some stuff for the house. And what else have I been doing? I watched the Bobby show a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Looking at that.
Did they discuss anything good on the Bobby show?
He looks good, I gotta tell you. He lost more weight actually.
What are your thoughts on him interviewing for a job at Burger King? Do you think he's going to get the job?
I hope. Did he get it or not yet?
He hasn't had the interview yet. We're trying to prepare him for it.
He's gonna look good in a uniform. Though there's only one thing though, he cannot eat the food though. He would have to eat a salad or something.
Yeah. Big salad guy.
Yeah, he likes the salads. Anyway,
You a salad guy?
yeah, I like salad. I had what I had last night? Tilapia and some like vegetables and Indian flavor.
Indian food?
No, Indian seasoning on the chickpeas, so that was good. The real reason why I wanted to talk was going into the draft. I hope Aaron Rodgers comes back. Like, how do you feel about the who they select in the draft?
I think it's going to be interesting to see what the plan is at pick 7. Who's there? Because
Yeah, and they got Steve Wilkes. So, and I
They
heard
do.
they got him. I also heard that they signed 2 more people today.
yeah, they've hired 2 new coaches since this show began.
Wait, who was the first one?
They hired Charles London as their quarterbacks coach today, and then
Oh,
just
he
announced
could be-
during the show, Scott Turner is now the pass game coordinator.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope they're doing good. What else have I been talking about? So I hope that they can move the ball next year because this was horrible. I say bring back Aaron Rodgers. I don't care what anybody else says. I think that you should have him come back. You know,
I think
we
he
need.
should come back. I agree.
And anyway, how's your day? Also, I forgot to ask you.
The day's going pretty good, Lane. You know, can't complain.
It's already February 2nd, so that's good.
Yeah, can you believe it?
Yeah, January went quick.
I thought it went pretty slow.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, so I hope that they can move the ball. I think that whoever you draft in the pick, that you have the bracket for each team. I hope, and also because the Senior Bowl, they have a lot of names that are in college.
That's for sure, Lane. That is for sure.
And where is Todd Bowles now?
Where is he? He's the head coach of the Bucks.
Oh, he was good.
He's done a nice job overall.
Yeah, I feel like BMAC right now with the lights off.
Mm-hmm. You don't want to go full BMAC though. He's not well liked right now.
Well, I know something's going on with him.
Yeah,
I think he got suspended and went into the hole.
He's been sent to the hole. Yeah,
he's in Stupid Town right now.
Yeah,
I think because you know why? He was not behaving himself.
No, he was out of control.
I liked when he broke the TV in the company of the Law and Order thing. So somebody did karate on the TV.
Oh yeah.
A lot. I know that like some people went to the bowling alley, but I was like very busy.
You couldn't make it out there?
If Nick Steinwood was probably very busy. Like, and so when are you gonna come on to Bobby Sub finally?
I've been on many times, Lane.
Yeah. Okay, so thank you for taking my call.
My pleasure, Lane.
I know
Anytime.
Hi. Sorry, everybody. See you next call when we talk about sports again.
It is my pleasure, Lane. K_3 has gifted 10 memberships. The only problem is it's not registering as memberships coming through. I think we might have hit our quota on memberships for the month and it hasn't reset yet. Or actually, it's going very slow. I don't know. I don't want people to gift memberships and not be able to get people to get them gifted if it's not working. We had this problem yesterday. So moving forward, Kay, I'll make sure I'll get you down in the raffle for 10. Thank you very much. But if you want in on the raffle today, send in a super chat and it will count that way. A $5 super chat is one raffle entry because that's how much one gifted membership is. So for now on, every super chat is raffle eligible if it's $5 or more. If it's 5, you get 1. If it's 10, we'll go with, how about 3 just for this show? And then if you send in a $20 super chat, it's 5 because the memberships aren't working properly. But Kay signed up himself as well. So appreciate that, Kay. Welcome aboard, K_. But new way to get memberships today. $5 will get you a raffle entry because the gifted membership option I don't think is working for everyone. At least on my end, it's not showing that it is. More of your calls right now. Let's say hello to a man who is celebrating his 34th birthday on this day. It's time to say hello to...
It's Chiefs fan. Guess what? I'm still looking for a job, bitches. It's Chiefs fan. I'm just going to rub my hands together all day. It's Chiefs fan. There's a whole lot of DNA on this couch. Let's hear it for Chiefs fan. Look, it's my dead neighbor that I didn't kill.
Yo, what up, Jake?
You drinking water on your birthday? Shouldn't you be chugging beer?
I went out last night.
Uh-huh.
And I bought like 2 of these chocolate croissants from the Panera Bread. I just finished one of them.
Very nice. Mm-hmm. What did you have for dinner last night?
Oh, last night I just had a cheap microwavable meal. Tonight I'm just gonna make pasta.
I see.
With spicy peppers, cooked in bacon grease. Because why not?
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy for all the gifts and the money that I've been getting, especially from the Asmaniacs.
I got the Chiefs fan. This is tremendous content.
Well, they gave me one of the dried up ones because I went there late last night. Went to go pick up some Magic the Gathering cards in St. Louis and some sleeves.
Rat Diddy with a super chat. He's in the raffle now for 5 with this super chat. He says, Chiefs fan, which lady is taking you out for your birthday?
None, I wish.
No? Do you still want an escort, by the way, when you come to New York?
Yeah. That's the last time I buy those chocolate croissants. They were dry, so.
Male or female escort? Do you have a preference?
I don't mind. I'm happy you guys got a new coach. As for a running back,
blonde hair or brunette, any preference?
Brunette's fine.
Okay.
As for a running backs coach, I don't know who you guys are gonna choose. I'm glad you guys kept your wide receiver coach, so they still know who to work with.
Chiefs fan,
No.
did you ever think you'd need security when you were in New York? Like we'd have to get you an escort because you're so famous?
I just rather have one because I haven't been in New York in years, so you never know.
Right.
You never know how, like, you can, like, I remember my uncle telling me never go down the alleyways or don't look down the alleyways back in
Right.
2009 because something can go wrong. And once they see you do something, they're going to probably do something to you.
Oh, yeah. You should
Be
see
a
what it's like
witness.
now, man. I can't go outside without being worried about getting jumped.
That's why I'm glad I'm out of Chicago, man. Like, I used to live in Inglewood, 51st and Halsted. It was real bad. 1 second. Okay, let me mute that. But yeah. I can't wait to visit y'all. I know if we put like a fund together to get me there, that'd be nice. Because right now, my grandparents have locked the first trust fund completely and only moved a little bit over to a second trust fund to pay for my stuff until I get a job.
I'm gonna pay for your escort. I'm gonna make sure she's a blonde-haired woman. That kind of feels like your type.
I actually like people with red hair.
Oh, even better. My kind of people.
Like Becky Lynch, if you know what that is. If you know what
she's a wrestler, right?
Yep.
Okay.
I like the Irish accent too, British accent too. But if I can like visit you guys for a game, I would definitely try to visit you guys for a home game. I would wear Jets gear to support you guys too.
Amen.
Or a Jets hat to support you guys. I'm really hoping to visit you guys, and I'm hoping my Chiefs three-peat. I know a lot of people don't want that, but if we three-peat, it'll probably upset Addison because we were talking in Nick's server last night, and Addison doesn't want us to three-peat because he wants the Lakers to be the only team to recently three-peat.
I see.
And speaking of the Lakers, man, they fleeced, and I mean fleeced Dallas. And the Cavs were up 50-19 after the first quarter on the Mavs. If you saw that.
Will writes in, are there many redheads in the hood, Chiefs fan?
No.
No.
Just people dye their hair. But, yeah, I hope to visit you guys for a fall game, even if it's rainy. And I hope to finally try a good slice of pizza. Because the last time I tried a slice of pizza, it was before Jets football, and you guys, was it 2009 or was it 2009 or 2010, and you guys made the playoffs that year?
Chiefs fan, joining us on the line right now to deliver a very special birthday message to you is none other than Gator McCluskey. Hello, Gator.
Yo, what up, Gator?
Happy birthday, Chiefs fan.
Yo.
I just wanted to jump in here real quick and say happy birthday. I'll give you a little live theme song here. Let's go. It's Chiefs fan. Happy birthday, Chiefs fan. Love it, man. It's Chiefs fan. Oh, we love that Chiefs fan. We hope the Chiefs win. It's Chiefs fan. Oh, baby. It's Chiefs fan's birthday, baby. It's Chiefs fan. Go kill a body and bury it in the woods. Love you, Chiefs fan. Happy birthday.
Love you too, Gator. Thank you. I love all your edits too, by the way. Like I don't know where you learned to edit, but man, it's all pupper, golden retriever. I love golden retrievers.
Say hi to Goose.
Oh, Goose, good boy.
He wishes you a happy birthday too.
Dogs are just like our little children that like we spoil to death.
Certainly.
And a lot of the retrievers and Labradors, they're very lovable dogs. My neighbor has a Labrador, and that dog is so loving.
Yeah.
Gator, that was incredible, by the way. That was like a mixture of like Fergie and Jesus.
It
was incredible.
The song?
Yeah.
The voice, the vocals. It was incredible.
It's Chiefs fan.
Yeah.
Well, I need you to chime in. Chiefs fan, if you could practice that, we could do like a live version of it. You got to do your parts, though. You think you could do your parts?
I'll let you two work this out.
I do not remember any of my parts. I was like drinking late.
It's Chiefs fan.
Guess what? I'm still looking for a job, bitches.
It's Chiefs fan.
I'm just gonna rub my hands together all day.
It's Chiefs fan.
There's a whole lot of DNA on this couch.
Let's hear it for Chiefs fan.
Look, it's my dead neighbor that I didn't kill. Okay.
It's Chiefs fan.
Jake, do it one more. Jake, do it one more time so I can remember. I was up till 2 a.m. last night drinking.
It's Chiefs fan.
Guess what? I'm still looking for a job, bitches.
It's Chiefs fan.
I'm just gonna rub my hands together all day.
It's Chiefs fan.
There's a whole lot of DNA on this couch.
Let's hear it for Chiefs fan.
Look, it's my dead neighbor that I didn't kill.
Well, it's Chiefs fan. It's Chiefs fan. I've rubbed my hands together all day. It's Chiefs fan. There's a whole lot of DNA on this couch. I'll tell you, it's Chiefs fan. Bum, bum, bum.
The neighbor didn't kill. My bad. I fucked up the first line.
That's all right. I have to write it down. I have to write it down myself when I sing.
Got those cheap cherry limeade Starburst sparkling waters.
I do.
I got a bottle of vodka and then mixed those two together inside of a pitcher.
Nice.
And then drank half of the pitcher.
Not sure how you got. How did you get to that part of the story there? Just
because I still have the hangover. Like I've been sleeping.
Oh, so a sober Chiefs fan. So next time I'll call in. You tell me when you're ready, and we'll do a live performance. Okay.
Hey Gator, stay on the line. Chiefs fan, happy birthday, man. I appreciate you always being a big part of the show. All right.
Thank you, man.
It's Chiefs fan.
Guess what? I'm still looking for a job, bitches.
It's Chiefs fan.
I'm just gonna rub my hands together all day.
It's Chiefs fan.
There's a whole lot of DNA on this couch.
Let's hear it for Chiefs fan.
Look, it's my dead neighbor that I didn't kill.
Before we bring on our next special guest, quick super chat from Bino who says, doctor tells him no steak. He goes and cooks food in bacon grease. This man is a straight up outlaw, a savage. That's Chiefs fan for you. An outlaw, a savage. Bino,
sweet.
Thanks for the super chat. Now I'm reading the private chat here, and Beastbreaker, he claims to know the lyrics to the intro outros that you have made for him. So I'm going to play one, bring on the Beast, and I'm going to see if we can do a live rendition of one of the Beastbreaker anthems. Ladies and gentlemen, Beastbreaker.
Beastbreaker. 666, he's the man who would kick your ass. And then he's gabagoo. Beastbreaker. He's the man who will kick your ass. And then he's gabagoo.
Great job, Gator. I love it. Oh, it's a Chiefs fan. Happy birthday, big fella. And hey, don't eat too much pizza. Let's see. Are we ready? Oh, that Lakers game yesterday against the Knicks? Garbage. It's trash. And let me just say this. We're the Knicks, and we're still going to keep going. And remember these words. We're the New York Jets, and we are built for this.
$50, and that will send his ass to the hole where there's no gabagoo. Beastbreaker. 666, $50 will send his ass to the hole where there's no gabagoo.
Incredible performance. Incredible. Gator. One of one, folks. Hey, by the way, Gator put together an album of some of his famous hits from the show. And you can get it on Apple or Spotify by searching Gator Sports Rocks. We got some classics in there for the longtime listener, like Bass and Jake. But then Gator also gave us some of his recent vintage, such as 31 AGHC. Check it out. Later, everyone. Check it out. Spotify, Apple. And also, make sure you guys subscribe just to Gator Sports on YouTube in general. Raffle entries. I'm still taking them. I don't know if we maxed out on memberships or it's down in general for YouTube because not all of them are coming through if you're tuning in late. So if you want in on the raffle for this one show, $5 super chats will count for one entry, which is the same price of gifting one membership. $10 super chat, I'll up it to 3 raffle entries. And then a $20 super chat as usual will be 5. If you want in on the Namath helmet, Klecko helmet, Gastineau helmet, Glenn photo, Glenn jersey, Gorman underwear. And if you don't want game-worn Gorman because you don't want to deal with the shit stains in it, I get it. We'll send you a normal pair of Asmaniac undies. Don't worry. All right? Don't you worry. Let's get to more of your calls, shall we? A lot of people still want in on the conversation here on a Sunday. I did 4 hours of radio today and a Sunday show. Make sure you guys hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. You're not going to find more content on the Jets and who knows than this show right here. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time.
I got my Iron UG. I hope you like my Jets take. You know they call me David T. It's not easy for me to see. Sometimes when I have a few drinks, I slip and fall and break my face. Not that my vision was bad enough. Now I have this dull shit scar.
Hi, Jake.
David, happy Sunday, man. How's your weekend going?
Very good. Thank you. And my feeling is, I guess you would rather not work 7 days a week, but we super appreciate your shows.
I appreciate it, David, but you know what? It's not really work if you enjoy it. This is fun.
Yep.
This is
Yep,
good stuff.
Yep, that's what I was always told. I just really admire people that somebody in your field or musicians or sports people that they're doing what they love. It's not really work, But let me think here. Get my stuff together. Lane Train, Charles, and Hughes fan. I love all your callers, but those are the 3 I'm rooting for. 3-way tie in March.
What if you go head to head with one of them? You're going to root for them to beat you?
Sure, why not?
No. And you know what? If anyone else said that, I wouldn't believe them. But David, you are probably the nicest person that regularly calls this show. So I actually believe it if you say that.
Yeah, I honestly, I'm just glad to be part of your show, and you've got many other callers that are so very interesting, but those seem to be my 3 favorites.
I love that. We got a question from the audience. Derek in the chat wants to know: have you ever yelled at someone?
Oh yes, I have.
What was that like?
Well, my father brought me up to be tough, and if you stand for what you believe in and you're right, then you can raise your voice. That's that comes from my dad. And I'd like to say Gator is #1 AAA, and the Jets thing is I'm locked on Aaron Rodgers, buddy. I think the Jets need Aaron Rodgers, and I think Aaron Rodgers needs the Jets.
I agree. I think they need each other for one more year. By the way, you gave a shout out to the Lane Train, and he just wrote to you, "Hi, Dave."
Hi, Lane Train. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, buddy.
David, you're the man. Anything fun happened this weekend you want to share with the Asmaniacs?
Nothing fun. Just living life and enjoying it and spending time with family, and life is good. That's all I can say.
David, you are the man. And I will say, if we did a poll of the most beloved listeners of this program, you might have the highest Q score of anyone.
Well, you're giving me too much of a compliment, but I appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, David T.
I got my Iron UG. I hope you like my Jets take. You know they call me David T. It's not easy for me to see, but if you bring me full stream, you might like what I had to say. I'll need to get real damn close, cause my vision is dog shit.
David T, everyone, one of the greats. Gotta be the nicest guy that calls in, right? The man, the myth, the legend. David, hopefully we could get one of the Jets, I think, playing Florida 3 times, and just looking at the schedule next year, the goal is to have the Asmaniac away game be one of those Florida games, depending on weather and time of year and all that. So hopefully it works out where you could come to that and I can meet you in person. That'd be awesome. Mr. Jet Skis with a 5-month Asmaniac super chat. Jake, we're signing coaches left and right. How you feeling on all this? Love the show. I'm taking a to be determined approach. I mean, I really don't love the Charles London hire as quarterback coach, but I like the hire of Scott Turner as the passing game coordinator. I like the hire of Tanner Engstrand. I'm optimistic, but I didn't want a first-time head coach, so you got to put your faith that Glenn knows how to hire good coaches. We don't know. He doesn't have a track record. We'll see. I'm rooting for Aaron Glenn. I'm a Jet fan. If you believe in Aaron Glenn, you got to hope that he has the right acumen for hiring a staff. Gary wants to know what his Q score would be. It probably will depend on the day. More calls right now. Let's say hello to the big fella. What's up, big fella?
Hey man, how's it going? How's it feel to be part of history yesterday, huh? Going to that Knick game.
Was I part of history?
With Davis not playing, and one of the worst trades, in my opinion, that I've ever seen.
Well, it happened after the game, though. It didn't happen during the game. I had no the crazy thing is, so I went to the game. LeBron kills the Knicks like he always does at the Garden. It's ridiculous. 30-point triple-double. Then I go out afterwards. I meet up with some friends. I had a couple drinks in me, and I got the alert from Shams that he broke the trade. And I'm like, I don't think I'm drunk. Am I reading this right? I'm like, that was my first thought. And then it was, did he get hacked? I didn't think it was real. I really was like, am I drunk? And then did he get hacked? And then other people confirmed it. And I'm like, no way. All you need to know how crazy the trade is, that the guy who broke the story had to then follow up and say, yes, this is real. That's insane.
I know. I saw it when I got back from bowling yesterday, and I was like, oh my God, dude, it was crazy.
How was bowling, by the way? I look forward to hearing all the stories.
Dude, it was a good time. All those guys are great. I don't leave them by out, but Nate, Blitz, it was Hawk's send-off for people who don't know. Hawk's going to Australia. He was there, obviously. Peter can bowl his ass off. Jesus Christ.
Hold on. Rick Kent, big fella's a legend. Rick Kent, 3 raffle entries, $10 for that.
Rick Kent is the legend, not me, man. Not me at all. But, Weed was there. It was the first time I met a bunch of them. Tom Ace I met for the first time. It was amazing. Yeah, it was a really good time. And Charles Gorman was there.
Oh, I heard he was there. All right.
Oh, God, yeah. It was so funny. He was wearing a fanny pack, right? And his pants kept falling down. So we were like, pull your pants up. He pulled his pants down and mooned everybody with his underwear.
No way.
I swear to God, it was so funny.
That's epic.
I think the second one. Excuse me.
No, it was great. And Nick's the best. Nick, just seeing him there, he's a really good guy. This whole Jet community is amazing. So, God bless all of them. But and happy birthday, Chiefs fan, and David T's the nicest guy. So yeah, I mean, it's just a love fest right now.
We got the best fans, man. It'd be nice to not suck on the field for once. Because imagine what the show would be like if the Jets were good. I really, that's my dream, to do a season where they're winning 10 or 11 games. We're going to the playoffs, and just how much fun that'd be,
Yeah, no, I mean, we need to get back to our old ways, and I think Aaron Glenn's going to bring us there. I really do. I think I have I have optimism. When we hired Sal, I had optimism, but this guy's one of us, and that makes a big difference to me. So and he knows how it is around here. So I really feel good. And I was actually watching highlights of Aaron Glenn, his 24 interceptions that the Jets put out, and gotta love it, man. Gotta love it.
Look, hopefully, hopefully there's a reason in the near future to finally.
I hope so, man. I hope so.
I see it every day, and I'm like, what could have been, man? What should have been?
It should have been.
This has been sitting next to me at my desk since when? When did you get April at the meetup at the Bonesy Shoe Store?
Yeah,
right?
The Knicks. Yeah. Unbelievable, man. Also, Brandon said that he he didn't see the hype of Jackson Dart and everything. I do. You can't judge a quarterback off 1 week where he's not familiar with the players around him and stuff like that. You just can't. I watched this guy all season, except for that Florida game where everybody's busting his chops, and it was bad. Believe me, it was bad. He was a damn good quarterback this year, and he broke all Eli's records. And he's going to shoot up the board, man. He really is, in my opinion. And I don't know if we take him at 7. I don't want to take him at 7. I've said this before, but I don't want to miss out on him either. So I don't know. I don't know what to do. I really don't. I think he's going to be a damn good quarterback in the league. I really do. He's got tenacity like Baker, which I love, and he's got a big arm, and he's accurate, and he can run. I think he's going to be good.
Ladies and gentlemen, the big fella. If they take Dart, I hope he's awesome. I personally would hate that at 7. If they did it at the end of round 1, day 2,
right?
Fine. I just don't want it at pick 7.
That would be optimal. That would definitely be optimal. But anyway, man, have a great rest of your weekend and safe trip down to New Orleans, buddy.
Thank you, big fella. Appreciate you as always, man. Vinny in the raffle for 3. For those tuning in late for today's show, we're not taking memberships. They're not working for whatever reason. So I want to make sure people can still get raffle entries. So a $10 super chat will get you 3 entries in the raffle. $5 super chat will get you 1, which is the same price as gifting 1, but we'll make it a little more special for a 10. 20 is 5. So appreciate everyone for the support. Hey, yo, Beastbreaker, when you're in NWO, you're in NWO for life. Can you give a Scott Hall survey? Your macho man is spot on. Hashtag raffle. Some love for Beastbreaker from Vinny. How about that? By the way, which Peter is the good bowler? It's not Peter Castro. Are we talking about young Peter? I'm seeing comments in the chat about Peter being a great bowler. But I want to know which Peter. Danger Zone writes in, what's the highest pick in the whole draft that the big fella be willing to take Dart and pitch him to someone who doesn't know who he is? Big fella in the chat, you can answer Dane's question. Oh, this Peter. Young Peter. I know Peter. Roseanne Gorman says, why not just do 2 for 10 and get 6 versus 20 and get 5? I'm not good at math, Roseanne. Your son's better at math than me. I don't know. I just want people to still have a way to get in the raffle if they wanted to gift during the show because it's not working. We might have maxed out on memberships. I don't know. I know smaller channels that happens, but I figured if you have 42,000 subscribers almost, they don't have a limit, but YouTube might be stupid. I don't know. I got to figure that out. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to have to do this, but I'm left with no choice. He's next up. Back-to-back Jackson Dart truthers. PBM. Hello, Mike.
Yeah, baby. Jackson Dart.
Oh,
I love it.
Oh, God. I do like the hoodie and glass combo, but damn, I can't. I almost, look, it's not fair, but I almost want to say Jackson Dart's disqualified from being a Jet because he went to the same high school as Zach Wilson.
I mean, he also went to the same college as Eli Manning and broke all Eli Manning's records. So for every negative thing you can say like that, there's a positive.
Yeah,
all that matters is him on the field.
Yeah, and he might suck.
Might suck, but it might be great.
Yeah.
It's like passing up on Patrick Mahomes for Jamal Adams.
I don't think it's that, actually, at all.
You don't know that.
You're right. I don't know that,
that,
but I'm willing to bet my life it will not. I'm willing to bet my life Jackson Dart will not be as good as Patrick Mahomes. Are you?
Well, Patrick Mahomes might be the best quarterback ever.
Right. So you just said it'd be like passing on Mahomes or Jamal Adams.
Well, it could be like passing up Josh Allen for Darnold. Say the same thing.
Yeah, I see what you're trying to do, but different scenarios because we're talking about quarterbacks. Whatever.
It could happen. That's all.
What do you like about Dart so much besides his name? Like if his name was Jackson Smith, I don't think you'd be feeling this way.
No, I do. So watching him throw on the run and evading pressure, and he has a big arm, and he's a big guy. He's not little like his stature. I don't know. He fits the quarterback mold, and I think he'd be good with a year of learning. Like I've said a million times, but that's what I think. So me and Big Fella are on the same playing field here. I hope we get him. Take him at 7.
Oh God, at 7?
I would take my 7.
Why?
Because I think he's going to be great. I think he's going to be a top 10 minimum quarterback.
No
That's
way.
That's what I think.
I hope you're right. If they take him at 7, if he sucks, I'm blaming you.
Good. I'll take it. I'll take all of it.
Ladies and gentlemen, wait, hold on. What were you cooking earlier, by the way, Mike?
We made General Chow.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah. I actually wanted to ask you about basketball.
Yes.
Wrong with call. With the trade, how does the landscape, you think, shift in the West?
I don't think it shifts necessarily this year. I think long term, the Lakers just opened up a 10-year championship window. Like, they're now set up. The stars are going to want to play with Luka. Like, regardless what happens this year, it's not about this year for them anymore. They're now set up with a 25-year-old who is on his only Michael Jordan averages more points per game in the playoffs than Luka Doncic. He's already been to an NBA Finals. He has on one leg, by the way, last year, and he hasn't even hit his prime yet. Like, the Lakers are now set up for the next 10+ years to compete.
I was thinking the same thing, and I also thought prior to the trade, maybe LeBron would get traded. But now I think no way. But I don't know. I don't know if they can get something in return young to help Doncic out for a while. But
Doncic? You mean Doncic?
Yeah, sorry. I'm a little going, you know what I mean?
I love it.
But yeah, I think, I've always liked Luka. He just doesn't play that good a defense, but we'll see what happens.
I think he's going to be motivated now, too, that they traded him. I think
that-
LeBron will hold him accountable. He'll get into good shape, and he's going to play his ass off.
I can't think of another trade that was so one-sided.
That's insane. Dude, I don't care if they think he's out of shape and they get annoyed by his conditioning. He could eat a Big Mac during every TV timeout as long as he continues to play like Luka Doncic has played in big games come playoff time. Who cares?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Is there something comparable?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Yeah. Like even in the NFL, I'm trying to think of a trade where I'm like, wow, that's like a really bad trade. I don't know. But all right, Jake. See you later.
Mike, appreciate you. Good call by PBM. Last chance to get in here. Last chance to get a raffle entry. Appreciate everyone tuning in. Tomorrow, we will not have a morning stream. We'll have an afternoon stream because I'm traveling in the morning to New Orleans where we're going to have so much content. You're going to be sick of me by the end of the week. All right? So warning in advance. You're going to get a lot of interviews on the channel. You're going to get impromptu live shows, impromptu interviews. Just be ready. Be locked in because it's all going down. It's all happening. Another quick plug. We have some more AG merch available. AGHC, jakeasman.com. Check it out. Put your seatbelts on. Get ready for the ride. Hoodies and shirts. And we're built for this bleep. Hoodies and shirts as well. So you can take a look at that at jakeasman.com. I will even make it easy for all you lazies out there by putting the link in the live chat for those tuned in live right now. Just put the link in so you can get right to the website. Let's see. Did I miss anything? I don't think I did. Dennis Gorman wrote in, Jake, I have been told upon good information that my son was indeed not at the library last night. I'm curious what Mr. Shine has to say for himself. Well, Dennis, I mean, I heard that your son was at the bowling alley, so I didn't know he was supposed to be at the library. This is news to me. Roseanne Gorman says, make sure you have a safe flight. Thank you very much, Roseanne. Adam is too cool. Shaq was fat. Lakers didn't. Yeah, I mean, come on, man. Jokic is fat. He's the best player in the league. Rat Diddy getting in the raffle at 5 with this. Thank you, Rat. Always appreciate you, man. Jake, enjoy New Orleans. Get a hand grenade drink at the Tropical. I've never been to New Orleans, so I'm excited. Bunch of you guys reached out with Rex for restaurants, so should be a good time, man. That's one of the cool parts of this job. You get to go to the Super Bowl city every year, so it gives me a chance to go to cities I've never been to. So I'm looking forward to it. Last year was Vegas, which I've been to many times, but that was still incredible. The problem I have with New Orleans is that obviously they're known for Cajun food and gumbo. I have a shellfish allergy, which sucks. So I can't have any of the gumbo, or I can't have any of the crawfish. Like Houston is huge for crawfish, and I could never have it. Dennis Gorman says that Charles told my mother. He told my mother and I he was going to the library. I suspect a cover-up. Oh, Grandma Joe? Interesting. David Atkins says, drink a hurricane on me. Sounds good, David. I appreciate you, man. 3 raffle entries with this. Rick says crawfish is so good. I've heard. I know. My friends love it. In Houston, they literally have crawfish season where all the bars bring in crawfish vendors and they have specials because Houston has patios for like every bar because it's built to be outside for most of the year. John says New Orleans is a shithole. Rick, so many great places in New Orleans. You got to love this country. We're divided on everything. Back-to-back comments. Jay Quest, try the alligator. Is that a shellfish? I don't think it is. Can I have alligator? Dave Briga says gumbo is fabulous. All super chats until the end of the show go towards the, what's the name of this drink? The Hurricane. Or Rat Diddy said, hand grenade drink. So there you go. Ellen says, New Orleans just had snow. Yeah, they did, but it's supposed to be beautiful this week. I think the weather's like in the mid-60s, so I'm excited because it's been cold as shit here in New York. Pete says, you work for this company or is this your channel? I own 100% of this channel, Pete, so this is my channel. Now, when I'm on ESPN New York or ESPN National or on Mad Dog like I was today nationally for 4 hours, I work for them. But this is all me. Super chat from the big fella. Alligator bites on me. What the hell is an alligator bite? That sounds magical. Tom Ace, Jake, bring a luggage bag filled with beads. Oh, I know all about the beads, man. We had Mardi Gras down in Galveston as well. I've never been to Bourbon Street. I'm excited. Rat Diddy says, happy hour 3-for-1 Bourbon Street LFG. Ralphie Rocks with a super chat. Hurricane from Pat O'Brien's or don't come back to New York. What? Someone's got to tell me what this hurricane is. Alligator bite is like a chicken nugget, but it's alligator, says Rick Kent. Rick Kent says Bourbon Street smells like pee and vomit, but it's great. All right. Have you been to Times Square, Rick? Let's see. I appreciate all the super chats here for the drinks and raffle entries. 3 more for Ralphie, by the way, with this one. Ralphie says it's like a Long Island iced tea with grain alcohol. Sounds epic. Dave says New Orleans is a wacky place. Be careful. Thank you, Dave. How's Florida, Dave? Are you still down there? You haven't called back in. Rat Diddy, great steakhouses by Bourbon Street. I look forward to it. All right. Beast Breaker says, try the mashed potatoes, red beans, and rice. Thank you, Beast. I'll give that a whirl. All right. Appreciate all of you. Reminder, no morning stream tomorrow, but we're going to have a shitload of content this week. So I will more than make it up for you guys. We didn't miss a day in January. We won't in February either. There's going to be stuff on the channel every day. We never stop. Rick Kent, another $10 at the buzzer. The Hurricane is like fruit punch with a ton of alcohol in it. Pat O'Brien's is the bar that created it on Bourbon Street. Awesome. Appreciate it, Rick. We will make sure we check that out. Dave's back in PA. He's no longer in Florida. I know, Dave. It's cold. And it's cold. Big Al writes in, Scott Turner to be passing game coordinator. Al, welcome to the conversation in the last hour and 30 minutes. Thanks for watching. Rewind if you want my thoughts on that. It broke when we had Brandon on towards the beginning of the show. Anyway, thank you all. Everyone who sent in a super chat. Hopefully we'll get to the bottom of why gifted memberships weren't working today. But you guys are awesome, and I appreciate it. Anyway, Again, my name is Jake Asman. This has been the Jake Asman Show. I'll talk to you guys soon from New Orleans. Starting tomorrow, baby. NOLA. It's all happening. Get loud, get proud. And we'll see you then. Ladies and gentlemen, my final message before I depart. Go, Jets. Please don't suck. See ya.
Breaking sports news just in from the Jake Asman Show. Finally, an uplifting story to bring you. One of Jake's most consistent and professional regular callers, known as Vincent, or V-Man to his friends, has given the critically acclaimed channel exclusive rights to one of the most exciting announcements in the history of this popular show.
V-Man, question for you. How come you haven't signed up for the Patreon yet?
I'm currently saving up money for a tattoo.
I'll cover the first year, all right? I'll put up the $60 to get you in the Discord group chat, all right? We need you.
All right, and I'll reveal my tattoo. And when I get my tattoo, I'll first reveal it on your show.
All right, the V-Man tattoo reveal has got to be on Patreon first. Deal?
All right.
All right. You got a deal. There you go. The tattoo reveal.
So brace yourself now for the unveiling of this most epic moment in the history of sports programming.
How do I know this is you right now?
Because Linus is here.
I guess if the V-Man imposter gets a dog, then we'll definitely not be able to tell you two apart.
You want me to give you those senoritas your phone number?
I'm going to pass on that, V-Man, but thank you. Let's go to V-Man. V-Man, you're up next. What do you got for us, V-Man?
Adios, amigos. Jake, I have a surprise for you. I got my tattoo. But I wanted to say hi to Linus first. Hi, Linus.
Oh, my God.
Hi, Jake. Hi, Jake. Linus is a good boy. Oh, wait, before I show you my tattoo, that senorita I was telling you about, Esmeralda, she's pretty.
Oh, my God.
You're going to like her, man. She's my cousin. I've only been with her twice, but she's okay.
Oh, my God.
Esmeralda, but she likes you, Jake. Okay, I want to show you my tattoo. You ready?
Oh, no. I don't think we need that, V-Man.
Grandpa, don't look.
Oh, no.
You like it, Jake?
You're sick, V-Man. Oh, my God.
You like
I can't. Oh, my God. And he had the fake V-Man like Hector from Breaking Bad in the background there. Good Lord. What are you doing?
Nothing.
I can't. I don't know if we could top that one, folks. I mean, wow. He had a tattoo of it. That is just unbelievable. That is unreal. That is freaking unreal. Wow.